Hi guys. We're back. Today I was just saying I'm in such a good mood, and I
Yeah, same. I'm in a really good mood.
Yeah, no you're not.
I'm so excited.
Toto is so tired, so he's like, wow, grumpy today.
No, not even. I'm alright.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
He's just getting on with it, basically. Yeah?
Yeah. I'm okay. How are you?
You got this. I'm having a good mood today.
Yeah?
My recovery is going well. Sis had a good night's sleep last night, so I'm all good in the hood. But basically, we're back and we're going to tell you the birth story and what happened, how we even ended up giving birth that day, and yeah, the whole lot. So, do you want to start?
No, you can start.
Okay, so basically, sometimes baby would just have reduced movements, right?
Wait there. Before we start, I want to say word down. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
And you're a superwoman.
Thank you.
You're strong.
Yes.
You're powerful.
Yes.
You're mighty. You're pretty.
Thank you.
You're caring. And you get birth.
And I gave birth.
To a big baby. He came out of you.
He's not even that big, babe. He's tiny.
Oh, but he came out of you.
Okay, because I'm small.
Yeah.
In comparison to what he came out of.
Yeah, like. But yeah, it's amazing.
Thank
No,
you.
you're amazing.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Marvelous.
The descriptive words are finished.
My dictionary is finished.
Maybe you need to extend your vocabulary. How about that?
My vocabulary is externally.
Yeah. It's okay. Before you embarrass yourself. But yeah. So basically, baby sometimes would have reduced movements. So I think before this time we had gone to the hospital because he was a little bit quiet and his routine completely changed. But now that we look at him in real life, it's because he was just sleeping. Honestly,
very sleepy.
He was just sleeping.
Like my Alexa.
Like my Alexa.
Oh, it's the TV.
So when we first went, they basically like monitored me and everything like that.
Yeah. And
then they said that, you know, we can give you an induction, because at this time I was like, what, 39 weeks, which is pretty much full term anyways. Yeah. So I was like, no, because I didn't really want any intervention at that time. It just didn't feel right, and we hadn't gone home and like prayed about it enough for us to make that decision. Because in my head initially, I just wanted everything to be natural. For him to come into labor natural, everything like that. So I said, oh no, it's fine, I won't have that, because after just having a look online I was just like, it's just not sitting right with us. Yeah. So then on his due date is when we actually went in that day, because of the reduced movement. So we were at home, and then I basically felt my stomach, and he felt like he was sideways. So I'm like, oh, this is not good, because I'm basically near enough birth and I just didn't want to have a C-section whatsoever. So I called in and I was just like, hey, baby feels sideways. And then they were like, okay, we'll try to get you an appointment. What is it, like tomorrow?
No, your GP appointment was on Thursday.
Yeah, this was on a Sunday.
They will move it
tomorrow.
To
Monday. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool, no, that's fine, blah blah blah. So then we sat there for about an hour. Now I'm getting really worried, because I'm thinking, okay, if he's moved, is the umbilical cord around his neck? What's happened? I'm having like loads of morbid thoughts going on. So I'm like, nah, I'm not happy about this. So then we call back in. This was an hour later, and then the lady was like, wow, in the hour that you've been sitting there, basically, have you felt him move? I was like, no, because he had not moved at all. So she was like, you know what, go to the hospital right now, blah 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 blah. So then we made our way.
Left as normal.
Yeah. No, but we took everything though. We took all my hospital stuff. Yeah, just because it was late. Because this was around midnight when we got there, innit? Yeah, it was around midnight.
I think it was around 1 a.m, you know.
No, it was midnight.
It was midnight? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the birth vlog where you saw us in the hospital, that was the day basically.
Yeah.
So they did a lot of monitoring, etc, etc. Everything was coming up fine. Like he was fine, his heart rate was fine, everything was fine. But I just wasn't convinced. We weren't convinced, were we? I think even at that time you were feeling a little bit worried, didn't it?
Yeah, that time for the first time I was like, yeah, let's go hospital. Because before I was like, oh no, let's wait, let's see if it moves. But this time was different.
Yeah.
And I remember like saying to Rutenda, like, this is gonna be a thing where we go there
and we're gonna come back with a baby.
We're gonna be. I was like, yeah, like we have to go.
Yeah.
You know, I remember pushing you like, Tenda, let's just go.
Yeah.
If you have to spend a night in there, just go spend a night.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that he's alright.
Because I think, like, I'd called my mum before, she was just like, just monitor the movement and just write it down, etc, etc, which I could have done, but it's also very risky when they're full term and stuff. And also I'd been seeing random videos online where people were talking about stillbirths literally at the end, so now I was literally panicking. So anyways, at the hospital, everything was fine with the baby, but I just wasn't convinced because this was not his normal routine and everything like that. So after, they were like, okay, we'll keep you in today, and obviously on the Thursday is when I was supposed to have my sweep done by my midwife. So they were like, oh, we'll just do it today basically. A sweep. The sweep, babe.
Yeah. I think you know, like when the doctor came in to speak to you about the results and stuff, and then
that was after the sweep.
Was after the sweep?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I had the sweep. Well, I didn't have the sweep. If y'all don't know what the sweep is when they try to like separate membrane, cervix, something, open up in there.
Tickle something that, so that it starts opening.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, they're tickling things in there, trying to open. We're saying tickling and that sounds fun, but it hurt.
Yeah, because she puts her
whole hand.
The whole hand.
To the back in there to the cervix. So sis went in and whoop.
I think from that moment, that's when everything felt real for me.
Yeah. Okay, so sis went in and then she put her whole hand up there and it was so painful. So even after her attempting the sweep, she basically said that like my openings were closed, so she couldn't even do the sweep anyway. So yeah, I just went through that pain. Not for nothing, because I mean it could have been for something, but it was just, yeah, I went through that for basically nothing.
Yeah. That moment, that's when everything felt real. Like, you know, like I was never thinking about that you giving birth.
What were you thinking about? Just receiving him? Yeah,
like you don't think about the whole process and what has to happen.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I just like, oh right, like, yeah, like this is real.
Yeah.
Like this is happening now, and yeah, I was kind of shook. I was thinking, yo.
And basically, because you're seeing me in pain, and you're like,
yeah, but this, yeah.
Okay, so they were like, okay, cool, we can't do the sweep. So basically, no, that's when the doctor came in now. A doctor came in because essentially after you have the sweep or whatever, baby's heart rate goes super high because you've like disturbed him basically. He's gonna only be really active for about 30 minutes or so, but he was going for about 2 hours. So
I was scared at that moment, you know.
Why?
Because like the baby monitor numbers,
they were going high.
I don't know what those numbers mean, but when you're looking at it like, nah, this does not look normal.
Yeah.
And he kept moving for time. Like just
I couldn't feel him moving.
Yeah, I think it was his heart rate. It was just like beating fast because he basically got disturbed by the sweep.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh right, like it's scary. And I'm thinking, what's happened? Like, is everything still okay? But anyways, the doctor came
Yeah, the doctor came in after, and she was just like, this is not really like normal. He should have settled down by now. We basically don't want you to go home and just keep coming in for reduced movements and all of this. So we'd rather you just have the induction. And then they were basically like, we've got Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday for you to come in. At this point, me and Todd just sort of had a chat, and we're like, yeah, we'll just go for the induction, even though it wasn't something that we wanted. But it just made more sense at that time, because you go home and you'll be worrying, thinking, oh my gosh, is the baby okay? And the stress is just not worth it, basically. And
the doctor was really good, because she was just like, she didn't feel okay sending you home. She was just like, you know, she would rather have you stay for the night and have you
monitored everything.
And then,
well, I mean, at this point anyways, I wasn't able to go home because the induction had started, essentially. But because when she gave us the dates, because bear in mind this is already Monday morning, because it was like 5 a.m. or something like that, we had chosen to have the induction on Wednesday, which she was not happy about. So when she was like, okay, you need to have it as soon as possible, basically, meaning today. So we were looking at each other like, today? Like, that's too soon, we're not prepared, we're not mentally or emotionally prepared for that. So when we said, okay, cool, we'll have it on the Monday, she was like, I'm so relieved that you chose today, basically. Because I think sometimes with doctors, they don't want to pressure you into a decision, because when we had come before, when they were offering the induction, they were pretty much like, it's up to you, it's up to you, it's up to you, because I think at that time they were not too worried. But even at that time, I'm thinking, you're saying it's up to you, but I'm not a medical profession, like, I don't know.
Don't know what's gonna happen.
I'd rather you like guide me to making the decision, basically. But yeah, she was happy with us making the decision to have the induction.
Because I mean, we discussed Wednesday. I don't know, why did we pick Wednesday? But
because that was the latest date, and we needed to mentally and emotionally prepare ourselves. And we just needed to pray, just go home and pray, bruh. Because I was thinking, a whole induction. Because the thing is, when you hear you're being induced, it does sound a lot worse than what it actually is. So in my head, I was like, I'm not ready for this. I don't want it even. But it wasn't even that bad, basically.
But at that moment, I felt like we were meant to be there. At that time, because from the research that I done personally, you couldn't get the induction to happen that fast. Like it was like a 3-5 day wait. Like you couldn't just go in. But it all depended on how busy the hospital is. So them just starting it straight away, it's kind of like, oh wow, like this has to happen. There's no turning back now.
So then we had it. So then I had to basically just wait in the hospital for 24 hours, because that's how long it takes for it to sort of like work. So basically, what the induction was, I think there's 3 types of inductions. So the one that I had was the one where they put this like little, well, not little, it's this long like tampony thing, but it's not like a tampon, it's like very thin, like a piece of paper. I don't know what it is.
It's like a piece of paper.
I don't know. Maybe it does the hormones. I don't know what.
Apparently it triggers
labor or something. Or So basically at that point, once they'd done it, I had to then stay in the hospital for 24 hours, because that's how long it takes. Some people will start getting like labor pains in about 6 hours or so, and they're supposed to feel like just normal period pains. So I didn't feel them after 6 hours. It took a bit of time for me, because they said that especially first time mums, it does take a little bit of time, basically. So I stayed in the hospital for about 24 hours. Tafadzwa went home after they'd done the induction, because he couldn't stay that night. Why? I think it was better for you to just go home, innit?
It was better for him to go home, because
you didn't even have anything. You needed to sleep and then come back.
And nothing was going to happen for 24 hours.
And I was just fine in the hospital, because I was just going to go to sleep anyways. So I stayed in the hospital the whole day, which I was sleeping the whole day anyway, because we hadn't slept the night before. They did a lot of checking over, just monitoring baby, my heart rate, everything, like continuously throughout the day. So then you came later.
So I left at, I think I left at 5.
Then you
5 a.m. in the morning.
At 4 p.m.
Got home, slept for about 2-3 hours because I had to clean.
You had to clean the whole house. So I said, my little baby's coming home, better clean.
Oh yeah, one of the nurses basically said, the next time you leave this hospital, you're leaving with your baby. So then I was like, oh no, I have to go home and clean. I have to go home and sort the house out. So I got home around 5:15, 5:20. Slept for about 2-3 hours. Got up, literally cleaned the whole house. Cleaned everything, and then I came back to the hospital around 4 p.m.
4 p.m.-ish.
And by that time, I felt like I was ready now. We were ready
to receive the baby.
For the whole process.
I don't think I was ready. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No?
Obviously, I knew things were happening, but I didn't realize how fast things were gonna happen. Obviously, they did say like 24 hours, but for some reason in my head, it just wasn't. It hadn't checked in basically at that time. Like by the time you came, I was thinking, yeah, whatever. They're gonna take out the thing tomorrow. Well, at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
But it hadn't clicked for me.
Do you know when it clicked for you?
Yeah.
When the 24 hours was up, and then
it's when she said, I'm gonna break your waters. That's when it clicked. And I was like, raw mad. Okay.
I'm moving a bit fast.
Yeah.
She came in at 5 a.m. Yep, it's time.
And I was like,
time for what?
I was actually like, sorry, what?
Time for what, bruh?
Yeah.
And from that moment, when we went to the birth room, it's kind of like, oh wow,
it's happening. But yeah, basically I stayed in the whole night. That night, woke up at 5 a.m. I mean, you were on the bed floor. It was the bed.
That was uncomfortable. My neck was hurting. My back is hurting.
Everything was just hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so at 5 a.m. the next morning, they took out the thing. The thing that I took it out. She just said pull it out. It was just like a tampon type thing. But I took it out when we got to the other room, isn't it? To the birth room. So then I managed to take it out, and then after then she was like, yeah, we're breaking your waters. Guys, I don't care what anyone says. Breaking waters was more painful than giving birth. I'm not gonna lie to you. For me, no.
I think the night before, some lady had to get her waters broken as well.
Or she was giving birth or something.
She was giving birth, and
she was screaming the whole hospital down. Me and Todd were looking at each other like,
this is what we used to. And then the morning came. It's like, we have to break your waters now, and that's like for me, like that was the worst thing.
Well, watching it.
Yeah, watching it was horrible. And then so
breaking the waters now, yeah. Bearing in mind, I'm not on any pain medication. By the way, some like form of contractions have started because I was getting period pains or whatever. Anyway, it's cool now. So sis goes, I'm gonna break your waters. I don't know how they do this, but I was just like, yeah, cool, whatever.
Okay then.
So it was very similar to the sweep. So sis puts her whole hand up there.
Yeah.
She is feeling where the cervix is.
Yep.
Other hand now, she's got this massive rod like that big, which has a little hook like this. It's like a pin or something, wasn't it?
It's about this big, and then the little pin is literally like a millicentimeter.
Anyways, so this alone was hurting me because the thing is, like, it's already now tender up there because they've just been doing a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I cannot. And then she now puts that thing in because bearing in mind she's trying to break the water, so she's like tugging in there like this, and it was not finishing like that.
Yeah,
for some reason it went on for ages.
It was going on for ages. And
I had my gas and air. Yeah, I'm like,
just thinking about it now, like just doing something like it was horrible.
That gas in me felt like a placebo. I don't care. It felt like nothing was happening when I was stuck in on the thing, whatever, trying to. And I felt like it made me lightheaded. So it felt like, honestly, my soul left my body. I'm not joking. I felt like I wasn't even here anymore. I was screaming like.
And this is at 5 a.m. in the morning, by the way.
No, it was what? Was it 5? No, it wasn't. It was like 6.
6. Okay.
Because yeah,
it was early anyway.
It was early. I'm screaming because before we're looking at this lady like screaming because sometimes like when you see, maybe it's because like movies romanticize giving birth and stuff, but you think like, oh, you know, you can control it or whatever, but you cannot. Because I didn't think I'd ever scream like that, but I was screaming the place down.
I didn't think so as well. Like it was It had to be done.
I know, but it was the most painful thing I've ever been through.
I felt it.
Yeah.
It looked painful. Like she was having a sword fight. And then trying to break it.
Nah, it was terrible. But after that, literally my body went into shock. Like after she'd done it.
Water came out.
Yeah, so you know, I went to the toilet. I'm now having diarrhea because everything like in there literally like loosens up and everything. So I was sat there. I'm like, just fuzz, okay, I'm going for a poo. I'm doing it, and then all of a sudden, because I said to you, I feel really sick. Like I'm feeling really sick, and I felt like the gas and air contributed to me feeling really sick. So I literally just threw up everything that I'd eaten because they gave us toast and tea and whatever. Just threw it all up because I requested that.
Smelling.
I like the brown taste.
It was smelling. It was smelling.
Yeah, no, it was. I could smell it. And the poor lady was finishing her shift and she had to come clean up the sick. But after that, I did feel a lot better.
Yeah.
And then, anyways, now.
Oh, I just one bit, yeah? You know when she was breaking your water? She gave me the little stick and she goes,
take it out.
I'm going to go down there and then if she's ready, I want you to open it and then give it to me. Now I'm thinking this is a matter of life and death. I've watched movies here. I'm like, oh, please don't mess up. Please don't mess up.
Your heart's going boom, 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 boom. Because you're going to try to be opening this and you're holding me, trying to like comfort me.
And literally when she said, okay, no, open it, then I just opened it here and I gave it to her. I'm like, yes, I did it. And then
because when she was doing it, also remember, I wanted her to stop, and then she was like, but I'd have to do it again. So now I'm thinking, Lord. Nah, man, that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was terrible. But yeah, and then after that, after I'd thrown up and whatever, they basically were like, okay, we'll give you a bit of time, because they were gonna start the hormone drip that basically starts labor for me. So I sat down and I was like, pain relief, please. And then she was like, oh, okay.
Mind your code, Mr. Epi.
Epi, I said, Epi, come through because I can't.
Come through, we need you.
Yeah, because at this point, my labor had kind of started. I was only 2 centimeters dilated. And then I was thinking, I cannot go through to 10 centimeters with this type of pain. There's no way. Yeah, so we're like, Mr. Epi, come through because yeah, that was just not gonna give. Yeah, so I was only 2 centimeters at that point, so to reach 10 centimeters, there's no way. Like without any pain relief, there was no way, please. So before they started the hormone drip, she was like, it's better that we do the epidural first and whatever. And obviously having looked online and like listening to people's stories, I was thinking epidural is gonna be the worst thing in the world. It really wasn't for me. Like it was pretty quick in it. Yeah. Because they put like a numbing cream on you and then they put the needle or whatever in your back. It just felt like a lot of pressure, but it wasn't like painful or anything.
I seen the needle.
Was it massive?
Yeah, it was thick.
I didn't see it.
It was thick.
I said to them, I don't want to see nothing, please just do what you're doing, because you know, what's that saying, something is bliss.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever it is, don't say it.
Ignorance is bliss. I don't know. But anyways, what you don't know won't hurt you, basically. So I just said, please do what you're doing there. I was looking over there.
And that was a quick process.
Yeah, and they're quite happy with how it went in.
Everything was perfect.
Yeah, it didn't take too long.
He was really happy.
Yeah. So they done all of that, and then after I started feeling good, like I was chilling. They did the little hormone drip, but the thing is, when the epidural is topping up in your body, because I think it's like automatic, or you can
every hour.
Was it every hour?
Every hour, yeah.
Yeah, or you can top it up yourself at some point if it's like really painful or whatever. But obviously you can't keep like just pumping it into you. Yeah. So after that, I managed to then start like sleeping and just chilling out a bit. I was saying, when the epidural is going in your body, it's very cold. Like you can feel it. It's just really cold in your body. But yeah, from then on, that was around 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So by 5:30 p.m, that's when I was 10 centimeters dilated. And for them to check, they had to do the thing again.
And see how far.
But this time I couldn't feel it because I've got Mr. Epi on my side.
Mr. Epi was working, right? He was in a 95.
So I was like, oh yeah, because I could feel it. Obviously you can feel it, but it's not painful, is it? So I was like, sis, by all means do what you're doing, because this time I've got the upper hand because I'm chilling. Yeah. So yeah, by 5:30, so that means I was in labor for about 6 hours and 50 minutes. I saw it on my notes.
Yeah.
Which was fine. So I think at 5:30 she was just like, we have to give you about an hour
for everything to settle down.
Then you can start pushing.
Let your body start naturally. And then we start pushing.
6:30 came.
That hour, that's when I finally went out the room to get Costa.
Was that not before? I didn't have Costa before pushing.
No, that was during that hour.
No, it wasn't.
Because she said...
That was 5:30.
No, it was during the hour.
No, it wasn't.
So when did I go?
It was before that. I think it was when they've done the epidural, everything, or sometime in the afternoon.
No. It was... No, I'm telling you. Because I remember speaking to my mom, like, we're going to start pushing at 6:30.
Why would I just start randomly having Costa before pushing?
You didn't want anything. I left you for time and then you called me saying, can I get
a hot chocolate? Oh, because you said you were hungry.
Yeah.
But I had a hot chocolate though. This is what I'm saying. Why would I randomly have a hot chocolate?
And then I was like to ask him if you can eat.
I can't remember this.
Because I remember I called everyone. I called Tenda. I'm like, yeah, we're going to start pushing at 6:30. I called Nigel. Okay. I literally called everyone.
Fair. I actually can't remember that. I thought it was sometime in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6:30 now came. That hour though went very quickly because I was watching the clock. I'm like, I'm gonna start pushing. But at this point, I wasn't like really scared or anything. It was just like, okay, cool, we're gonna start pushing. I didn't know how hard pushing was gonna be. I did not. It was a shock to me, definitely a shock to the system. So baby came at 7:52, so that's how long I pushed for. So an hour and 20 minutes is how long I pushed for. So we were obviously pushing, but I started getting really tired, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was just, I didn't expect it to be like that, because although the ladies were like, okay, we can see his head, whatever, it didn't feel like anything was moving in me. So I thought he's still in. Then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do this.
What I learned about the pushing is that when you push, you're pushing him out, but when you stop pushing, he goes back. So
Does he?
Yeah, so you have to keep pushing.
But I can't, because they were telling me to push at every contraction. So when the contraction finished, then I stopped pushing, because I can't just keep... Because you're trying to push out a whole human who's that big.
He was moving.
Oh,
and by the time you were saying you can't do it, his hair was out.
It wasn't out.
It was.
It wasn't out. They said they could see his head.
Yeah, his hair.
But I could feel him up me, not out me.
Yeah, no, literally, he was out. And then you, obviously, because you couldn't say anything, you couldn't believe them. So you were like, oh, you're lying to me. But we all could see their hair.
Maybe also the epidural played a part, because you don't feel as much, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I wasn't convinced with what people were telling me. I was just like, you guys are lying. Yeah, so I just wasn't convinced that he was coming out. And then in the middle, I don't know if it was because I was getting really tired or the baby's heart rate, they were worried, I don't know.
Yeah.
But some random doctor came in.
Yeah, so when he's coming out, they can't really monitor him. They can't monitor his heart rate. So they were just like, we have to take him out right now.
I didn't know the reason. I couldn't hear anything. It was just, yeah.
You know, some doctor came and was like, I'm gonna have to cut you. Alright.
He was like, it's better that I cut you than you tearing, because that's going to be a worse recovery.
Yeah,
because then I guess the cut is more controlled than the tear. Because the tear could reach my anus.
Yeah, he's like, yo, I'm going to have to cut you, and we're going to have to use a suction cup
to get the baby out.
To bring out the baby. And you know, like, at that moment I learned is that, like, we handle babies, like, too soft. Because the way he pulled him out.
He's like,
and then, and then, yeah, so they cut you, and literally, as soon as they cut you, the baby just literally just came out.
No, he used the suction cup to bring him out.
Yeah.
Anyways, so when I felt the suction cup, I'm not gonna lie. So it went in and I felt it expand up, whoop, inside, and I was just like, whoa, like obviously it wasn't hurting, but I could feel it, and I was just like, that's too much happening there. And then honestly, when you pull the baby out, it generally does feel like a sense of relief. Like I just felt the water gushing out, I felt him gushing out, and I was like, oh.
Everything came out.
And it was just
it was crazy.
And he pretty much cried straight away, didn't he?
No, he actually didn't, you know.
Did he not?
When he came out, looked like and then like it just like thinking
just
you can't see
around.
it. What are you looking at? And then about 5-10 seconds later, I started crying. Yeah. And then,
they kind of like wiped him a bit, and then they put him on me, and I was just like, oh my god. The first thing I was saying is, what does he look like? What does he look like?
Hey, baby.
He was so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm getting all the flashbacks of that
she
moment.
feels better now. Yeah, that was a special moment.
Yeah, no, it was.
When it came out, and then it's like, oh, wow.
And then after that, they gave you the baby. Toddler was crying like a little baby. Oh my gosh. You cried so much.
I'm a big man.
You cried so much.
It's a big man cry. Okay?
No, you were like...
That was it.
You were. I was looking at you. And you just wanted this little baby for ages.
Anyways, all big men cry.
Of course.
That moment is special. Man.
Of course.
There's nothing that can replace that moment.
No.
Like, I'll forever remember that.
Yeah, it was just so special.
It was special.
Yeah, then after that, they basically like came to take the baby. They did what they needed to do and stuff. The lady was like, do you want to take your placenta home? I said, girl, no. What am I supposed to do with the placenta at home? I'm not one of those quirky people that eat placenta, please.
Imagine.
I was like, no, I'm not taking flesh home.
I cut the cord.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot about that. They're like, are you cutting the cord? He was like,
yes. And I just go one time. And then he goes, oh, you're strong.
The gym been paying off.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that was basically it. We did it.
No, you did it. You did everything. I didn't do anything.
Nah, it was just, yeah. And at that moment, everything then just happened so quickly. Like they were like, get up, go showered, got dressed, and then they moved us out of that room.
Baby, checked him,
weighed
him.
Yeah.
And then
they helped us with all our things, and then took us to the baby and mum unit.
Yep.
And that was it. And then we stayed in that night, and then we came out the next day.
I didn't stay in.
Yeah,
at that moment, that sounds like, I thought I was only allowed to stay for like 2 hours.
Yeah, but you stayed for a little bit.
Yeah, I stayed for a little bit. Because I was traveling. I had to do something. But yeah, from that moment, I was just like, it's done now. It's done now. Because we were fine in the hospital. Relief, you know. And I remember calling like our parents.
Yeah, we called everyone.
We called everyone. Everyone was just so happy. I was like, it's done now. And when you look at him now, it was worth it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
All the pain.
But I ain't doing it again. There's no way. Boy, ain't no way, boy. There's no way. I mean, as we were saying, boy, ain't no way, boy.
No way, boy.
Because right now I'm thinking about going back to the hospital. No, thank you. No, thank you. Honestly, it was if I was ever pregnant again, it's a mistake. Because I'm not gonna sit there and plan to get pregnant.
Nah,
there's no way. Unless, like, honestly, God changes our hearts and is like, yeah, you're meant to have more than one kid, then by all means. But me, myself, and I don't. No,
way.
I can't do that again. He's so precious and lovely, but no. There's actually no way. There's something that I really needed to say. Oh yeah, one thing that I really realized is you can write your birth plan all in there, but sometimes it just doesn't go the way that you intend for it to go.
You can have this vision,
of how your birth is gonna be. Because I was thinking, I'm gonna have my praise and worship music in the back, and I'm gonna be sitting there just telling myself amazing affirmations while I'm giving
birth. I know, boy.
I can't even concentrate. I was just like, I can't do it anymore. But no. So happy with our little baby. He's just the most gorgeous little boy ever. We love him so much. So the next video, guys, is gonna be postpartum. So when we got home, me recovering, how baby has settled. Sleep where? Sleep where?
In a way.
Honestly, when you give birth, you need all the help that you can get. Please, like, you actually need all the help that you can get. So we've been very fortunate. Although sometimes we've been sleep deprived. Yeah. What?
Nothing. Sleep deprived is worth it.
What, sleep deprivation?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Okay, no, it is worth it. Because you know what? I'd rather be tired but have him, because sometimes when I don't have him, I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm literally like, oh my gosh, it's like withdrawal symptoms. But yeah, that will be the next video, guys, when we're chatting all about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Yeah, we'll basically see you next time.
God is wonderful.
All the time.
Women are amazing.
All the time. No, we actually are.
Men are just...
Men are the weakest link.
After God, it's women. And then children, and then men. Every woman that's given birth, I respect you.
I respect you.
You're strong.
Yes.
You're powerful.
Yes.
Your body can do amazing
Thank
things.
you, babes. Anyways, guys, see you next time. That's enough. See you guys next time.
Love and peace and blessings.
Bye.